Hi guys, man behind the smile, creating a conscious holistic leader within you, for you and your family, and for work and for societies at large. That's the mission I'm on. Today is day 3 of notice from our can-do challenge. If you follow my videos, or if you haven't really, can you please go back in my timeline, whether in my Facebook page or on my personal page, you will see the videos. This is in relation to Men's Mental Health Week, International Men's Health Week, from 14th until the 20th. It's all about bringing awareness so that we can start talking about tough conversations, tough challenging conversations, so we can prevent, be prepared for what is happening in our men's world. Real epidemic in itself, like a lot of disconnection happens throughout our lives, right? As a lot of toxic masculinity is being discussed about. So that's the purpose of this week, is just to make sure that we are in the stepping stone of what's to come. So today I just want to quickly talk about, before we go in and notice, if you watched my video yesterday, I talked about mental health gym, be active, so that physical body and mental bodies are all connected. We are a connected being, right? The emotional, physical and spiritual body is all integrated as one human being. We are in this human experience, right? The soul is really here to have this kind of a human experience in this current lifetime for all of us. So that's what is very crucial, to start noticing what's happening around you, away from your flight and fight mode to reacting life, to become responsive. How are you responding? Are you slowing down? Have you pressed the pause button in your life, just to notice what's been happening around you? So that's what I want to quickly talk about environment, but just stay tuned. I'm going to give you 3 different ways you can really get into the space of noticing. There's simple day-to-day things you can do, every day. So the first thing I want to talk about, the environment. Environment is very crucial for becoming, even to set aside some time to notice what's happening around you. When you are in a busy mode, when you are in this kind of a autopilot mode of living, we are all living, and COVID kind of creates a lot of awareness because of this. That's one of the part of the reason this mental health week for 2021 is mainly revolve around COVID. But what I'm asking you guys to is challenge you guys to say, this is not because of COVID. COVID kind of flares up the issues we've been struggling for years, right? COVID really brought up to the surface. We've been hiding behind a lot of addictions, a lot of busyness, a lot of doing everything but not noticing it, not having this tough, challenging conversations in a safe space. That's what we need to create, and men in the world, to have the space every day so that we can feel safe. Of course, yeah, we do feel vulnerable, guys. It's not surprising. You could feel macho masculinity being talked about, toxic masculinity is being talked about, but we are, at the end of the day, sentient beings like everyone else. We just need the safe space to talk. So that's why it's really important to create that separation from your current environment you're in to a new environment you want to create. We can all talk about motivation and willpower, but without having these intentional boundaries around you. I talked about having self-care boundaries around your relationship, boundaries around your time, boundaries around who you hang out with. And this is very crucial for you to do this exercise at least 20 minutes or half an hour every day. You need to create this intention. That's what is very different from attention to intention. I want to quickly talk about the difference. When we have goals in our lives, of course we focus on attention. It gives us the focus because of the attentive work we do, right? It's like I have something innate in us and we can get things done, like smash it, like that focus, that razor sharp focus will give us, and we can go and smash it. But what we don't realize it, the intention is different. Intention is really in a space that you need to create. Intention really gives us a sense of space, right? It's not really a very rigid focus. It gives us time to observe. It gives us time to witness, right? Within our body, within our embodiment of who we are. So that's what we need to be intentional about, whether you want to create this notice space in your life. Mindfulness, we can call it a simple mindfulness. It's all about breathing, guys. If you really want to be, don't worry about anything, any other terms I've been using. It's just simply noticing your breathing and what's happening within your body, right? So number one, I'm ever so thankful for your messages you guys been leaving in my stories and Instagram. And one of my dear friend who's my super fan, he knows who he is. So he talked about, so I asked him the question, what is going inside of you mean? Reconnecting mean? That's what we are doing, guys, right? Day one I talked about reconnecting to who you are. So some people say inner peace, some people say inner thoughts of where I am. So he suggested a awesome method, and I'm going to share it anyway, because I thought about it, but he really was someone who actually follows my stories, and I really asking you guys to thoughts and input. So that's what I'm sharing, your messages back to you guys as well, so that many people can benefit from the pearls of wisdom you guys been sharing with me. So today is all about, the number one is all about contemplation. Can you see yourself in a silent space every day in the morning or before you go to bed, just on your own? No music, no nothing is playing, not even meditative space. It's just silent space. You don't need to close your eyes, or you can just close, just stay in this present moment. It doesn't matter, guys, thoughts comes in and goes. Yeah, please don't worry. That's been another taboo has been talked about. You got to be clear mind to have this pace and meditative practices. That's all BS, right? Thought comes in. Main thing is, can you pay attention to it? Can you pay attention to your breathing? Can you pay attention to what's happening deep inside of you? And he talked about this contemplative mode. He goes in, he kind of goes through like a movie of what happened the day before, what kind of almost like a reflection. Rather than creating any toxic stories around it, he sat there and just reflect on what happened to him yesterday, and what's he, not even what he's planning to do today, just to be in the space to feel what he's feeling right now in the space, right? What's happening for him. Is there something uneasiness about him? Is there some uncomfortable thoughts coming in? Someone said something, or someone shared something about him, or his own life, how he see himself developing in the future. So that's leading rightly into number two. Step number two is all about improving, or making that experience more enriching by going through this mindfulness breathing. Just breathing, guys. Meditation, mindfulness, we all talk about with so many. I'm not going to bore you with again today, but this is all about paying attention to your body. Remember when I talked about yesterday, body remembers. Body will tell you what's really going on. That's why the attention and intention is very crucial. Is sometimes we pay too much attention to a pain, body takes over, mind takes over, gives us different stories about anxiety and stress, pain escalates, right? But if you have the intentional, as an observer, you observe right through it. So sit with the discomfort. If something is happening, I want you to do this first thing in the morning or during the day. You don't need to close your eyes. Just deep breathing, deep within your underbelly, right under your belly, just deep breathing. This could be helping regulating your emotions, regulating your thought patterns before you responding or reacting to life situation. Sometimes you just quickly respond, whether there's an anger, frustration, anything that comes in, this will stop you, right? So that's what is very important. You can do some very slow breathing in and out, like count of 4. It's called alpha induction breathing. What you can do is count to 4, 1 to 4, slight faster breathing, slight, then hold on for a few seconds, however second you want to do it, and slow breathing 1 to 7. So count 1 to 4, almost like a very I counted to 10 when I hold my breath, right? It just doesn't matter. So all you can do is just do that. If thought comes in, guys, fine, don't worry about it. Just let it go. As long as you can bring back to the breathing and noticing what's happening in your body, right? That's what happened. I will share with you more about doing body observing, witnessing technique later on the week. I want to share something more deeper into you can go through to look at what sensations happening in the body. We can clear some of the old patterns and beliefs we have. So watch out for that video later on the week. And the third one is doing something you love doing, getting into the flow state, getting into something you love doing. Any activity you love doing, cooking, you wanted to do some singing, dancing, getting into the space just for you, because that space really gives you that place to notice what's really been emerging from deep within, right? So that's really we don't really pay attention to that in our life, because we've been very busy looking after our lives, looking after everyone else's life is. But the third one is allocating just time just for you, going in the garden just to stay in the sun, right? Go and watch people watch, that's awesome than looking at the screen, right? And have a detox from social media and your other apps for 1 day a week. I've done it for more than 2 months. Really, I still don't go back into social media. I just only come back more intentionally this week because I want to share these messages with you. It's still not easy for me to come back to social media, but I'm coming in with a purpose. Yeah, have a purpose around it. Have an intention around why you're doing this in the first place, and that will clear up all of the other noise and clutter. So that's what my three tips for you guys. Slightly longer video. I've been mindful again and intentional about giving you shorter videos next time, but this is something important, something really close to my heart, and then I wanted to give you more value for the time you guys been spending with me. So I think please watch out, send me messages about how you're finding this week, these little practices, because I'm introducing you certain mindfulness practice very slowly, one by one, rather than overwhelm. Especially as men, we don't really want to take on this kind of activities or techniques and procedure. So that's what I'm slowly taking you in. But I can't do this without your support and your insights and your comments. So please leave them underneath here, or approach me, message me, and together let's create this awakened human beings as men we are set to do, right? Bring up consciousness in community so that we can go out and to be our best version of who we are as men, right? For our family, for our life, for our work, for societies in general. That's the purpose of this whole thing. That's the purpose of Man Behind the Smile. If you really like what you see, if you really find resonance to the messages I've been leaving, please make sure you join the community. It's Facebook, there's a page, Man Behind the Smile again. You can find it. That's where the video is coming from. And anything else you wanted to discuss, please reach out. Any other content ideas you may have, you want me to cover, then I'm more than happy to do that for you guys as well. So stay awesome, guys. Sun is out. Go out there and notice what's been happening for you today. Thank you so much. Man Behind the Smile.